Hi, welcome to my first book review where I'm going to be talking about Spin the Dawn, a young adult fantasy novel which is inspired by East Asia. I'm really excited to get this started. Spin the Dawn. Gorgeous cover. This book has been pitched as Mulan meets Project Runway. Yeah. 16-year-old Maya is a really good tailor and she has big dreams. She wants to be the tailor for the Emperor. The only problem is she's female. She poses as her brother to compete to become the Imperial Tailor. Magic, banter and adventure ensue. This book, for me, ticks a lot of boxes. I love things that are inspired by East Asia. The main character, she's very easy to root for. She's kind of a typical heroine, but she's a strong character. And I like that she's a really ambitious, loyal character who cares about her family. I mean, I do like reading about the shady characters, but it's, you know, nice once in a while to read about somebody who has a good heart but is also ambitious. This book is split into 3 parts. I had different feelings about each part, so let's break it down. Part 1 starts off more like your typical fantasy. It still feels really fresh and original and unique, but it's got that typical fantasy vibe. It starts off really fast, which I like. I like to get right into a novel and then learn about the details later. And it's got gorgeous writing, which is really atmospheric. Part 2, not gonna lie, it does slow down a bit. Maya is sent on what I would call a fetch quest. And I thought this was going to be the perfect opportunity to explore the greater world. And learn a bit more about the Emperor and the palace and the magic, but instead it kind of took a different turn. It was more character focused. It was romance. If I'm honest, it felt a little bit like a bait and switch. I was in the mood for magic and adventure and, you know, a whole new world to learn about, really. And that's what I got from part 1. That's not really what I got from part 2. So it leads you in with a fantasy and then it becomes more romance. I even felt that the writing had a little less energy. Things that were described with such passion in the first part were a little bit flat and perfunctory in part 2. It was still good, it just wasn't where I thought it was gonna go. BAM! Part 3! Sorry, Winry. There are stakes, there's tension, there's twists, there's new stakes, old stakes are thrown out the window, and it's just, it didn't quite go where I thought it was going to go, which is good in some ways, but it just went so many places so quickly. There's fast paced and there's, you know, yeah. And there's a cliffhanger. So of course I really, really want book 2. But I kind of would have preferred if it was a little more of a complete circle, but that's just kind of my preference. While the book wasn't quite what I expected, I enjoyed it a lot. I was in the mood for one thing, I got something slightly different, but it was a good read. It was definitely one that I thought, this is going to be my first book review, because I want to talk about it, I want to tell other people, go read it, go read it. I did feel that there was a lot more love for part 1. And I felt a bit more in love in part 1 than the other parts. But maybe that's just because part 1 was just so good that the other 2 parts, they were always not going to compare to part 1. All in all, I would give this book 4 stars. I would recommend it to anybody who is looking for a little bit of adventure, a little bit of romance, a little bit of magic. If you're looking for something, you know, a bit different that hasn't been done as much, I think this is the one for you. I think a lot of people could enjoy it. It's great! Spin the Dawn. If you find this review helpful, then please let me know. This is something that I want to turn into a bit of a series where I can talk about the books that I've really enjoyed and really would recommend to other people. You know, put a bit more love out there in the world for fiction, because you can never have enough love for fiction. If you've got some tips, then yeah, please do let me know, because I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm just hoping to have a little bit of fun and talk about books that I love. Thanks for watching!